let's get into this insecure finale. Now, it took a little while because I had to digest everything. I watched it a couple of times. I'm like, there's something here that I'm not catching. And it turns out a lot of people didn't catch it. So I'm going to let y'all know that in a little while. First up, Molly and Andrew. Now, Andrew finally stood up to Molly. But here's what I don't like about that. Now, I've been saying all along, Andrew needs to step up. Andrew needs to stop being a punk. He needs to man up. He needs to let Molly know how he feels. But nah, he was passive aggressive. He let things go. He let things slide. BMS a nice guy. Finally, he exploded and pretty much put Molly in her place, but it was a breakup. So here's what I don't like about people like Andrew. Let's get past all the passive aggressive stuff. Here's what I don't like. Instead of him expressing himself every time something wasn't right, it's like he had a secret book with 10 squares and said, I'm going to check in here every time Molly does something that I don't like. I'm going to put an X in here. Bap, bap. That's one time. Bap, bap. That's 2 times. And never tells her. He just tells everything to the book. And then when he gets to 10, oh, that's the final one. Now he explodes on her and ends everything. When if he really cared, or if he was a man, or a great communicator, he would express himself after the first or second X. That's all he had to do, and hopefully they could have worked things out, and that's just not for him, but that's in all relationships. Those people who just let things build up and then a big explosion, that's not cool. So Andrew's a sucker for that. Finally he stood up, but he stood up in a bad way and really pushed things over the edge. And Molly wasn't having it. Molly said, damn, I can't win for losing. So, hey, better luck next time for Molly. But there's hope for her. She really knows what she has to do. From Issa to her psychiatrist, to Andrew, to her father, to her... Yeah, she knows she got some issues. And she's willing to work on them. And that's what I like about her. It smells like Badu pussy in here, boy. I got that Badu pussy incense. Take care of everything. But anyway... back to the matter. So everyone knew this was the final episode of the season. So we were ready for that Molly, Issa talk, argument, confrontation, discussion, being moderated by some. We knew it was going to go down this episode. So we were all waiting for it. As a matter of fact, we thought it was going to go down like the past 2 or 3 episodes, but it didn't. So it had to go down on this one. Well, this episode ended up being hijacked by Tiffany and her postpartum depression. Now that's a very serious issue, super serious, but it would have been nice to have some sprinkles of it in the past 3 episodes. Maybe at least a minute of screen time the past 3 episodes. And I don't think we had that. I think you had the one time when Kelly had the baby and she was talking about breastfeeding and drinking the breast milk, but I don't even think Tiffany was in the past 3 episodes. But anyway, her husband put the call out. Tiffany's mother came over. Kelly came over. Molly came over. Issa came over. It was a little odd, but they all came together. Went looking for Tiffany, who was missing. Tiffany was on the outs, and they did their detective work, doing all this kind of stuff, and movies, apps, checking accounts, and all that. Yeah, it was like the episode was hijacked, so they, could have left some more breadcrumbs the past 3 episodes. But it all worked out. They had the bus scene. And they wouldn't, the bus driver wouldn't stop the bus. Had the white folks on the bus giving them a hard time. And then, who was it that crossed the line? I think Kelly crossed the line. The bus driver was like, he just shut down or whatever. I remember we were going on a ski trip. And I was running the bus. I was a sponsor. Going on a ski trip, yeah, your boy can ski. And the music was going on. We was on there partying. We was having a good time. About 55 of us. And the music stopped. And I'm like, what's going on? I made a mixtape. And the bus driver went up in, the bus driver said, she don't cross the line. So my girl, her name is Kelly, with a Y. Her foot was on the yellow line. It wasn't like in this episode where it was red. It was a yellow line. So she had to step up. He turned the music back up, start partying again. Next thing I know, 5 minutes later, bus driver cuts the music off again. I'm like, oh. I walk up there and I see Kelly's, heel, because her back was torn this time, her heel, it was like an inch between her heel and the yellow line. So I said, what you cut the music off for? Her feet are clearly, behind the line. And he said, that's true, but 5 inches over the line is her butt. And she had a big butt. So even though her feet were in front of that line, I was like, damn. So I whispered in the ear that her ass had crossed the line. And she thought I was flirting with her. She said, boy, you better stop playing. I said, no, literally, your ass is crossed. You gotta scoot up a little bit. And I touched it softly and scooted up a little bit. And she got me on the dance floor late, and I ain't gonna tell y'all what happened after that. But anyway, back to Insecure. So they find Tiffany in the hotel room. She is by herself, thank goodness. Because I was like, please let her be by herself. Don't let her be right here cutting up. But if she cut up, that would added in a really interesting twist of the story. So she hugged her husband, and that's all good. And he fought for his baby. He went out there searching for her, doing his thing. And how that bus driver gonna stop the bus just to get the police on them, and then the white people get off and they run their mouth? Don't you got stops to make? Don't you have a schedule to be on? Stop the bus. Be human. Some people that stick to the books, stick to the rules and guidelines. Nah, be human. It's an emergency. Stop the bus. Let these people off. Go about their business. You keep everybody on schedule that's already on your bus. And your route has to be on time. Getting down to business. Lawrence shows up on Issa. Now, first of all, she said she would go visit him in San Francisco if he gets a job, and he got the job. She said, I fly up there. It's a 45-minute flight. I took that flight before from LA to San Francisco real quick. I thought my flight was going to be on the land, going from LA to San Francisco, but nah, they went ahead and hit the water, and we just flew over the Pacific Ocean all the way up the coast. So that was real interesting. I didn't see that coming. But here's what's wild about this, and this is what we missed. Lawrence came over, and shout out to the director or whoever edited the way they wrote it, where they was doing those cuts where the other person was answering the question that this person was supposed to answer. They did a great job with that. So whoever did that, I didn't even check and see it, but excellent job. I loved it. Lawrence comes in and says that Condola is pregnant. And it's messed up all the names I call Condola, but I better get her name right. She's named after Felicia Allen Rashad's daughter, Claire Huxtable. Her daughter's Condola, and that's where Issa got the name from. But Issa, was blindsided by the fact that Condola was pregnant. Lawrence told her. Now, here's what we all missed. Lawrence was having so much fun with Issa that he never talked to Condola. So 3 episodes ago, when Lawrence and Issa first connected or reconnected, and Lawrence was supposed to talk to Condola at the end of the night, that's when she was trying to tell him that she was pregnant. But Lawrence put it off because Issa was there that night. And Issa said, well, let's, finish the night off. And they went ahead and did their thing, and he told Condola, I'll talk to you later. Him and Issa did the thing, and they did the thing again, and they just started kicking it, and he never got back to Condola. So Condola is sitting on this pregnancy because she wants to tell him face to face. I like that kind of woman too. She wanted to let Lawrence know. She didn't want to text him or tell him over the phone like Minister Society. Now, here's the thing. If Lawrence, and this is all Lawrence's fault. I'm hearing people blaming Issa, what goes around comes around, and she cheated and all that. Forget all that. If Lawrence, number one, would have strapped up. That's number one. Number two, if Lawrence would have kept to his meeting or his get together with Condola, as opposed to letting Issa wanting to spend the night with him or stay there with him overwhelm him. If he would have said, no, we'll get together tomorrow, or I'll hit you as soon as we finish talking, or you stay here and let me go talk to her, And he could have went over there and talked to Condola, found out, and came back and told Issa before anybody's emotions got involved. But that didn't happen. So it's Lawrence's fault because Condola had the news and she was trying to meet with him and tell him. So he set things off, and then Issa got caught up in the web and then got closer to him, not knowing that he's missing out on the information that Condola has for him. So now the question is, should she stay? Because what would she have done if Lawrence found out that night and told her? What if Condola, when Issa and Lawrence were at the restaurant right before TSA Bay walked up, what if Condola would have texted him instead of saying let's meet in person like adults? Text him and said I'm pregnant. And then Lawrence told Issa. What would Issa have done then? Because they weren't involved, they weren't caught up, they hadn't been to the art thing, they wouldn't have been back to his apartment. He probably would have left that dinner or that lunch with Issa and ran straight to Condola's and had to talk then. I think Issa would have been out. So now she's in a little gray area because she's caught up emotionally, sexually, mentally, physically, and Lawrence is caught up. I'm gonna tell you something about Lawrence. Lawrence is exactly what Nathan said. Lawrence is sometiming. Nathan has that vision and that eye. He just sees things. That third eye sees it. And Lawrence is like sometiming. He goes with the flow. And Nathan's like, I see all this stuff. All the stuff you told me about him, I know what kind of guy he is. And you know, hey, you want to settle down with somebody sometime? So now he comes up and says he's pregnant and he wants to stay with Issa. But he and Issa hadn't been together but a few weeks. So what about the deep emotions he had for Condola? Were they suddenly lost the minute she said she's not trying to get married? And, you know, she's not trying to get married again. Did all of his emotions and love for her go out the window? I think not. So he has to still feel something for Condola. And she's fine too. But there's still something there with Lawrence and Condola. You just don't drop all your emotions and then jump with Issa. Lawrence just goes with doing whatever his atmosphere brings him, he flows with it. He just goes with it, with the job. Oh yeah, well, I thought I was supposed to do this, so I did that. Oh, I thought I was supposed to just create everything, so I did that. Now he said, I want to be a part of a team now. That's really not my thing. I just want to sit back and be a part of a group. Now he's with Condola. I want to be with her, and we gonna kick it, and we had this great relationship. And she's like, I want to be in a relationship. So now he's over here with Issa, doing this thing with Issa, because he could have still been with Condola. They just went and had the marriage thing on the table. It had been off the table on the back burner, but he still could have kept his relationship going with her. So I guess his feelings was hurt. He runs over here with Issa. Issa says, you know what? Hey, I'm enjoying you. I'm digging you. Hey, let's get closer tonight. Now he's flown with Issa just that easily. So sometime it is. Then you still have the San Francisco job on the table. Baby potentially coming. Relationship with Issa. So he has a triangle. And all three can be seen as good. But the Issa part is good, of course. San Francisco is good, even though it's away from Issa. But this baby part is messing him up. And it makes him look bad. And Issa is stuck. But Issa, I think, is in a position of power because she can still control her future, control her destiny. She can control what she does. And she doesn't want to hurt Lawrence, but she also shouldn't want to hurt herself. So if she can handle having a wife-in-law, if she can handle having a newborn baby in her house, in her apartment, in her presence, on their dates, if she can handle that and it's not hers, and if she can handle looking at Condola in her eyes and saying, hey, I'm with the man that you just broke up with, even though I had him first, like Ray J and Kim Kardashian. I had him first, you had him, and I hung around you and told you it was cool, and now I got him back because I wanted him all along. And I was jealous, a little bit jealous of what y'all had. And I was a little envious, not jealous, I was a little envious of what y'all had. And now I got him back. And now I had to look at you in the eye and let you know. It sort of looks like she was being deceptive in her relationship with Condola. And I don't think she was. It just happened that Condola was dating her ex. So I'm looking forward to the next season. But true friends are real friends. And you can see at the end what happened. Molly ended up calling Issa and saying, I need to talk. And it just so happens that Issa needed to talk too, but Issa didn't tell her that because Molly's the one that made the call. Just like with the last episode or whatever, where Issa, episode before last, Issa called Molly and they connected. And Molly wasn't too cool. But Issa calling Molly that other episode opened the door for Molly to call Issa this time. So Molly made the phone call and they sit down in the same Ethiopian restaurant and they begin talking like friends should. So the season ends the way it began, with Molly and Issa sitting down having a talk, because I believe the first time they about to have yoga or something. But would you stay with the love of your life if he comes in and delivers the news that 6 months from y'all talk, there's going to be a baby on the way? Would you stay? And fellas, would you roll with the woman that you're kicking it with and falling in love with, or would you roll with the woman who's about to have your child that you really aren't over, even though you faking like you are, because you just go with the wind, and right now the wind has you with Issa? What would you do? Because I don't trust Lawrence. I don't trust Lawrence's decisions. He's maturing and making slightly better decisions, but he's not protective of his body, and he's not making the right decisions with his penis, eggplant, ick. He's not doing the right things, for real. And I'm going to do another video about that. We're going to get into Lawrence's anatomy, because there's certain things that he should do that he hasn't been doing, and it makes men have downfalls here and there, and it destroys their lives many times, their personal lives, their families, their finances. It destroys it, all because of the decisions they're making with their body. So I'm gonna get on that video, probably maybe tomorrow I'll do it. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I finally completed my first review of a TV show. I did the entire season for the first time. I mean, this channel, I just started doing videos in January, so but it's hard. It's hard being consistent and doing this. Yeah, it's hard. So thank you to those who watch. I really appreciate it. And it's been a pleasure, for real. And I love looking at Issa and Condola and Molly, except for that one bad wig she has. And listen to Kelly Cut Up, Amanda Seals, Tiffany Little Sexy Self. It was all good. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I'm Money Green. Talk to me. Make money, go shopping. Soon another video will be dropping.